beautiful ones. Today's practice is going to be hopefully a little reminder of goodness and the possibility of joy. So let's see how we get on. If you have two yoga blocks, then have them nearby towards the top of your mat. But if you don't have any, that's okay. We'll get by just fine without them. Okay, so we're going to start in a comfortable seat. So you might sit cross-legged or kneeling. You might take one of your blocks and sit on that, or on a folded blanket or a cushion, just whatever you've got nearby. And we'll just take a few moments to get settled and to arrive together. Not too long, just a few moments. So as you settle into whatever shape you've chosen, whatever seat you've chosen, just beginning to arrive in the body as you gently close the eyes, allowing the mind, or giving the mind permission to melt, the organ of the brain to melt down into the body, and just noticing what's present here for you today. Noticing sensations, thoughts passing through the mind, or even your mood right now. And when you're ready, we're actually just going to allow our minds to wander a little bit and bring our attention to what sparks joy for us in our lives right now. And it might be teeny tiny, or it might be something really big. Maybe it's family, or a beloved pet, raindrops or snowflakes, morning sun, walks on the beach, or the sound of the ocean. Bird song, the smile of a friend. Just letting your mind travel, remembering or bringing our attention to what sparks joy for us. And we're all so unique. So there'll be different things for all of us. And just allowing ourselves to take a few moments to soak here. So maybe you're just thinking of one thing that sparks joy, or maybe you're allowing your mind to travel from thing to thing. But just really soaking in that, soaking in the feeling that these beautiful, precious, golden droplets in our lives creates for us, how that feels in the body. And when you're ready, let's just take that with us now, gently blinking the eyes open, and we'll meet together in a child's pose. So just putting your prop to one side if you are sitting on something, and we'll meet here together. Just a few breaths. Smiling down into the side body, the side ribs, down towards the low back ribs, down towards the kidneys, allowing the breath to travel there. And on your next in-breath, let's rise to all fours, and we'll just start to ripple through the spine, arching and rounding the spine in cat and cow. Maybe one of the things that sparks joy is just the opportunity to roll out our yoga mat and practice a little bit of yoga, connect with the body or come home to the body and the breath. And you might continue cat-cow just like this, or you might start to circle the spine a little, smiling into and opening up the side body, the side ribs. And you might change direction if you're circling the spine, exploring the other direction. And then when you're ready, just tuck your toes, lift the hips, and find your first downward facing dog. And just feel free to dance through the legs here a little bit, or to swivel the hips side to side, or nod the head yes, shake the head no. And if you enjoy this practice and would like to practice with me again, or know when another practice is uploaded, then you might take a moment to subscribe so you are notified when the next practice is available for you to enjoy. One more breath here. Okay. On your next inhale, let's raise our right leg up into a three-legged dog. And then on the exhale, we're going to come into a brief pigeon pose. So let's bring our right knee forward behind our right wrist. And we'll stay up on the hands today rather than coming forward. So you might come up onto the fingertips. You might even walk the hands back a little bit closer towards the hips. Give yourself a moment here to just press the front shin down into the mat and the top of the back foot down into the mat to give you a little more lightness and levity as you gaze softly forward into the space in front of you. And then on the next exhale, we'll plant our hands in front of us, curl the back toes under and sweep our right leg up and back into another three-legged dog. But this time we'll turn the right hip up over the left hip, bend the knee, let the foot fall back behind us. So we've got a lovely twisted variation here of three-legged dog. A nice little side bend here too. Take another in-breath. And as you exhale, same leg, we'll step our right foot outside our right hand into a really wide lunge. Front foot, toes, right toes turned out a little bit. And you might come up onto the fingertips as you lift the chest and draw it forward here. Back leg nice and strong. And here's our first little twist for the practice today. Turning to the right and reaching that top arm up. Easy breath here. And I like to feel the supportive space behind me, just leaning the upper back, the back of the heart back a little into the supportive space. That definitely brings me joy. And then we'll exhale, top hand to the mat and step back to downward facing dog. And let's just go straight to second side. So left leg forward, or rather first left leg rises to three-legged dog. And exhale, Left knee forward into single pigeon on this side. Staying up on the hands. Bringing yourself up onto the fingertips if you like. Walking the hands back a little towards the hips. This is a lovely variation of pigeon pose. It's a gentle back bend. And a nice release for the front of that right hip and thigh of the back leg, the hip flexors. And we can open our chest and gaze softly forward again. Just one more breath. Maybe there's something beautiful in front of you in your space that you can appreciate for a moment. And on your next exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, and let's lift the hips up and sweep the left leg up behind us. Turning the front of the pelvis to the left this time as we roll the left hip up over the right hip. Bend the knee and let the foot fall back behind you. One more in-breath. And then we'll exhale. Left foot stepping wide outside the left hand. Back knee stays lifted. You can stay anchored on the hands or come a little higher on the fingertips or bring your hands to blocks or whatever feels most comfortable for you. And then we'll roll the chest open to the left and reach that left arm upward. One more in-breath. And on the out-breath, bring the hand down and step back to downward facing dog. Give yourself a moment here, a delicious, conscious breath in downward facing dog. Okay, and then we'll walk, step or hop the feet forward to the hands and arrive in Uttanasana, standing forward fold at the top of the mat. And have your feet about hip width distance here, so you feel your feet underneath your hips. And we'll bring our left hand either to the mat or a block, whatever's preferable for you, right underneath your nose. And your right hand to your waist. Bend your left knee and straighten your right leg. So some of us, our right leg won't straighten all the way, and that's absolutely okay. So left hand's on the mat, just beneath your nose. Left knee's bent, right leg straight. Lengthen now as you inhale. Crown of head reaches forward as the top of that right thigh reaches back. And then exhale to turn to the right. And maybe you reach right arm up to sky. So we're just gently releasing today through the outer hip and outer compartment of the thigh by twisting, and we're twisting too. So outer hips and twists today. Let's exhale and release and just switch sides. So right hand to block or to mat right beneath your nose. Left hand to your waist. Bend the right knee. Straighten the left leg. And remember to get long first before you twist. That allows you to twist with more ease and more capacity. Lengthening the crown of the head forward as you reach the top of that left thigh back. And then turning to the left. And reaching the top arm. One more inhale. And on the exhale, release and fold forward. You can pop or plop your block off to one side. Fold over the legs, and if it's comfortable for your shoulders, interlace your hands behind your back. Reach the knuckles up and back as though they're reaching beyond your tail. Shoulders sliding up the back, away from the ears. And then a little bend in the knees. Keep the hands the same. press into the feet and slowly rise to stand. And we can release the hands. Okay, we're going to start playing with a little bit of balance together now. So let's pour the weight over into the left foot, pick up the right knee, and we might just start by interlacing the hands in front of the right knee. And if that feels like a long way away for you, that's absolutely fine. You can have hands to heart center or hands on the waist. Soft, steady gaze at a point in front of you. And this might be where you choose to stay for now, especially if you're having a wobbly day, right? Or you might keep your left hand on your right knee, but bring your right hand to your waist. And then see if you can feel yourself grow a little taller, lengthening upwards, extending upwards through the crown of the head, and gently turning the torso towards the right, towards your bent knee. And then you might reach those right fingertips back in space towards the back of your mat too. And the gaze might follow you there. Let's see if we can be here. Just one more breath. And then we'll release the twist. Keep our right knee lifted, turn back forward and reach both arms up overhead. Soften the left knee, the supporting leg knee, and lean forward. Reach that right leg, that lifted leg up and back as we step lightly back into crescent lunge, slowing down the transitions. Always brings me joy. Take an in-breath here. And let's start to deepen the twists now. So as you exhale, hands to heart, and we'll turn to the left. Right elbow outside left knee. Just one in-breath here. And on the out-breath, hands to the mat. Anchor through the hands. Pick up your left foot, your front foot. Step it halfway down the mat behind your left hand. Swivel the toes to the left as you shift the weight to the right hand and the outer right foot. So we come into a side plank variation with the left arm reaching up overhead. And just stay here. One full breath. I'm just going to turn around so I can face you. And you might even reach that top arm up and over so you can really smile into the side ribs here. And then as you exhale, hands to mat and step back. Downward facing dog. Another conscious, delicious breath and down dog. And then on your next exhale, walk, step, or float your feet forward to your hands. Uttanasana, inhale, hands to shins, lift the chest, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise to stand, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. And let's do that again on the second side. So this time we pour the weight over into the right foot. Lift the left knee. Interlace the hands in front of the knee, or hands to prayer, hands to waist. Taking a moment just to arrive in your balance. And then as you're ready, right hand to left knee, left hand to the waist. Grow a little taller up through the spine, out through the crown of the head before you turn to the left. And maybe reach that left arm back. If you can, stay with me here. One more breath. And then keeping that left knee lifted, release the twist, turn back towards the top of the mat, reach the arms, and here we go. Lovely slow transition again as we taste the space with the left leg and left foot, and then lightly step back into crescent lunge. Take an in-breath here. And on the out-breath, hands to heart, and we turn again to the right this time. Full inhale. And then we'll exhale, hands to mat. Same again, beautiful ones. Anchor the hands, pick up that front foot and step it halfway down the mat behind your right hand. And then we just need to swivel the toes to the right, shifting to the outer edge of your left foot and the left hand, and reach the right arm, the top arm up. Side plank variation, and then we can take a little side bend here, breathing into the right side ribs, outer upper arm and armpit area. And then we'll exhale and let that go. Step back again. Downward dog. Okay, so let's build on that and one more little flow. Okay, this is where we might need to use our blocks if you have them nearby. So on your knees to exhale from your downward dog, step your right foot forward between your hands. Now you can have your hands on the mat either side of the front foot, or you might bring your hands to blocks either side of the front foot at any height that suits you. And then we'll step our back foot, our left foot, 1/3 of the way up the mat and anchor our back heel down on the mat. So our back foot toes will be slightly turned out. And then let's work to straighten both legs. Some of us might not straighten the front leg all the way, and that's absolutely okay. You just do the best you can to work towards straight. And then we'll inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine. And exhale, fold over the front leg. And even if the front knee's a little bent, you're still getting that sense of release through the back of the front hip and the thigh here, which is what we're looking for in Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. And then we'll inhale, lengthen again, long spine, crown of head draws forward. Exhale, lift the hands off the floor or the blocks to the waist. Inhale, strong legs, press into the feet, rise to stand. Keep the legs exactly the same. Right hand to hip, left arm reaches up. Take an in-breath, reach through that left arm. And as you exhale, lean forward, reaching through the left side body as you gently draw the right hip back. And then release. Left hand to block or floor, inside the foot or outside the foot. So it's your choice, okay? I'm going to go inside today. Inhale, lengthen again, get a little longer. Crown of head reaching forward. Right hand drawing right hip back and hugging it in. And then exhale to turn to the right, turning towards that front leg. For revolved Trikonasana, Parivrita Trikonasana, top arm can reach upwards if that's comfortable for your shoulder. Just one more breath here. And then next exhale, release the top hand to the mat, soften the front knee. You can step the blocks out to one side and we'll just step back to downward facing dog and take a moment. Another delicious, conscious breath here in down dog. So we've just been building up to deepening the twists so we can come and play with revolved triangle pose. That's kind of the peak of the practice today. So let's play second side. Left foot steps forward between the hands. And even if you've come into revolved triangle pose many times in your yogasana life, it's nice to slow it down, isn't it? And break it down a little so you feel everything in the body. Hands on blocks or hands on the floor. Step the back foot 1/3 of the way up the mat and ground the back heel. And I really like to have my feet in line with each hip. So I've got my right foot in line with my right hip and my left foot in line with my left hip. So the stance is still hip width distance. And then find a little bit of length first. Lengthen on the in-breath, lengthening through the front seam of the body. And folding over the front leg on the out-breath. Next inhale, get a little bit of length again. Strong legs connecting the feet to earth. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, press into the feet, rise to stand. And this time it's the left hand that stays on the hip. So same hand as front leg, stays on the waist or the hip, and right arm reaches upwards. And then we get to find all that length, all the way from our back foot up towards our right fingertips, inhaling. And exhale, take your time, exhale, exhale, lean forward, reach forward. Using your left hand on your hip to draw the hip back towards the back of the mat, hug it in towards the center line, and then hand to block or floor. You choose where the block goes, inside, outside the front foot. Inhale, lengthen one more time. And exhale to turn towards the left, and then you might reach that top arm. Just a couple more breaths here. See if you can hold the whole body in your awareness right now. And next exhale, release that top hand down. Soften the front knee, blocks to one side, and step back with me, beautiful ones. Downward facing dog. Inhale, let's rock forward to plank pose. And lower slowly all the way onto the belly. This is the first time we've come down here today. So let's come up into a Sphinx pose, up onto the forearms, elbows under shoulders, here. And you might just take a moment to arrive and find your sweet spot for Sphinx pose today. About 70 to 80% of your maximum, just the right amount of sensation. So if you're looking to elevate your Sphinx, you might bring the forearms up onto blocks, lifting a little higher, even coming onto the narrow edge of the block if you like. That's a little much for me. Or alternatively, if Sphinx is really intense for you in the deep lower back area, then you might slide the forearms a little further forward rather than having the elbows right under the shoulders. You can bring the elbows just a little further forward, taking the intensity out of the lower back a little. So taking a moment to arrive in your Sphinx pose, one that feels wholesome and nourishing for you. If you're using the blocks like I am, it can be nice to just loosely interlace the hands. And then becoming established in stillness here for a few moments. Observing the sensations in the body. That's something that definitely sparks joy for me. Observing the constellation of sensations arising and passing. Really experiencing your aliveness from within. And you might even just close the eyes or lower the gaze. And for the last few moments in Sphinx, the last 30 seconds to 1 minute, you might stay where you are, or you might bring your hands to the mat out a little wider, slightly turned out for seal pose as you straighten the arms, lifting into seal pose. Easy breath. So wherever you are right now in Sphinx or Seal, just a few more conscious breaths here. Soaking in the good of this gentle, passive back bend. And on your next exhalation, we'll slowly draw ourselves out, gently coming down, removing the blocks if you were using them, separating the elbows and stacking the hands to rest the forehead or one ear on the backs of the hands. You might even wriggle the hips a little side to side here for a moment. Giving ourselves time here in crocodile pose for our Sphinx pose to integrate into the body-mind system, rebounding, breathing sweetly. And then as you're ready, we'll slide the hands alongside the chest, curl the toes under, press to all fours, and then just slide ourselves back to a child's pose, just as we began. And let it be a child's pose variation that feels delicious for you. Arms reaching forward, palms facing upward, arms reaching alongside the body, or gently cupping the heels with the hands, or maybe creating a little pillow with the hands for the forehead in front of you. We're really just coming full circle. So as we arrive here, just as we began, taking a few moments, if you like, to return to remembering what sparks joy for you right now. It might be the same things that you thought of at the beginning of practice. Or perhaps different things are coming to mind for you now. Warm socks and warm hats. A good cup of tea or coffee. Somebody's laugh. Just taking a few more moments to savor in what sparks joy. And if nothing's coming to you, by the way, that's totally okay. Sometimes we have those days. And so you might just keep the attention in the body and how it feels to be in a child's pose right now. Noticing how the breath is moving in the body instead. And on your next in-breath, let's gently press the mat away And rise from our child's pose and just come into a comfortable seat to close together. Any comfortable seat is fine. You might rest the hands on the lap or lift the hands to the heart in Anjali Mudra. Just taking these last moments to acknowledge your practice, taking the time to come and roll out your mat and come home to the body and connect to your breath, and appreciating the efforts you made. And if you love this practice and would like to practice again with me, then remember to subscribe so you know when the next practice is uploaded for you. And most importantly, may we have a beautiful rest of our day, our week, and may there be many droplets of joy ahead for us to savor at our leisure. Peace, peace, peace.